morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Toledo on this.
Mike. The international symbol for Mike, that thing.
How about now? Okay. And welcome to First Unitarian Church of Toledo on this Sunday, July 6, 2025. We are so glad you're here. I'm Stacia Hansen, today's service associate, and I'm here with Ginny Gottman, our Director of Lifelong Learning, who will be conducting the service, and Jeffrey Maxey, our Director of Music. Also today, the tech crew is in the back broadcasting on our YouTube channel, and we have Andy Gottman as director, Krista Schneider controlling the cameras, and Jeff Slauson at the soundboard. This entire production was organized by Walter McGee, our executive producer from his off-site studio. We thank Walter for his efforts, even though he has not been able to be present in church, and we send our love and thoughts to him. We have many more volunteers helping today too, with greeters in the lobby, a kitchen crew preparing for coffee hour, led by Carla Logan Mercer, and some of our religious education teachers are in the sanctuary today to help adults and children with our intention tables.
Good morning. I am Ginny Gottman, your Director of Lifelong Learning. At the intention tables, we have two projects that are for adults and children. First, we have Unitarian Universalist mosaic art. Everyone is welcome to take a square of the mosaic, color it in or decorate it however best suits your fancy, and when they are all done, we will assemble them into a lovely multi-colorful mosaic that will be put on display. Our second intention table project is a large hand-drawn fingerprint. If you would like to, take a pen to one little row on the fingerprint and write down something that you are good at or something you think that we collectively are good at. You can color or decorate your little notation however you would like. When it's done, we will have a fingerprint that shows the unique strengths of our congregation.
The only doctrine of our church is love, the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. If you are a visitor, you may notice a yellow card in the pew rack in front of you. This is for new seekers. It helps us to know you're here, and if you fill it out, we will send you our UUFYI email newsletter. So please complete the form and put it in the offertory basket. We also welcome all who are joining us on our Toledo Unitarians YouTube channel.
The flame of the chalice that we light in our services symbolizes courage and illumination and honors our search for truth in meeting. Let us all join together in saying the words of our chalice lighting, which you will see on the screen and in your order of service as Stasia lights the flame. Our chalice has the spirit of Unitarian Universalism. We light it centered in love. May it glow with sacredness and shine for each and for all. As we are reciting, why don't we go ahead and also recite the words of our covenant, which you will also see on the screen before you. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. For our first spiritual practice this morning, we have something new. Don't be alarmed. It sounds complicated, but I assure you that it is not. We are going to create a word cloud that reflects our own vision, and perception of this church. You are going to see on the screen and also on your order of service a QR code. Don't scan it just yet. When you scan it, it will take you to a survey from the UUA, and that survey will ask you 3 questions. The first question is, what is your role in this congregation? You will have a drop-down of choices. It will ask you what UUA region we are in. We are in the Central East region, which is in the dark blue area on the map. Then it will ask you to enter 1 to 3 individual words. This means no phrases, have to be single words. Children, you are welcome to do this as well. If you didn't bring your phone with you today, or you do not enjoy this modern QR business, a person next to you can help you. You can use their phone. You are permitted to submit this survey several times. So we're going to talk for just a quick minute, and then we'll do the survey, okay? Okay. So imagine that you are talking to a person who is here for the first time today. That person has asked you broadly, what do you do here? What is this church? What do you do? What do you tell them? Any of the things that we do here that you find meaningful. This is not a rhetorical question. I want to hear your thoughts, anything that you do that you think has meaning here. Coffee. I figured that would be the first. Love. Community. Connection. Social justice. Inspiring. Inspire change. Yeah. Comfort the soul. Meditation. Say that again, Maureen. Comfort zone. Listeners. Interesting. Music. Joy. Awesome. What? Friends. Yes.
Gardens.
Gardens? That one I did not see coming. What? Serenity. Nice. Yes, Maddox. Joy. Love it. Prayers from above that we learn how to use the camera. Yeah. Harmony. All right, so now our visitor is fully overwhelmed by all these words. So they say, okay, what is the one most important thing that you do here? Don't answer out loud. Now it is time to scan the QR code. Okay, do you have a QR app on your phone? Okay, you can download a QR app if you wish, or your neighbor can lend you their phone, or, pardon me? Oh, you can use your camera. Okay. And anyone who wants to use my phone is welcome to. I, being your religious educator, would tell our visitor that everything we do is faith development, and faith development is all we do. So, has everybody who wants to scan the QR code scanned it? No. Yes. Yes and no. We're going to take a few minutes, just as long as it takes, to do this survey. And again, you are free to help your neighbor with the survey. Please do not discuss your answers. Put down your role in the congregation. We are the Central East region. Is that a hand? Oh, yeah, we have a volunteer to offer help. Jeffrey's offering help. These people are wonderful. And we will give it, a minute or two, as long as it takes, for us to fill out this survey to our satisfaction. There's a drop down in the top left corner. It will ask you your role in the congregation. You're either the religious educator, a congregant, or other. Walter, we know you're watching. You do this too. People in the kitchen, we know you can hear us. And our friends at home are also more than welcome to join us in the survey. There are 3 places for you to enter individual words that to you represent what we do, the most important thing we do at this church. You can enter up to 3, but it has to be 1 word per box. Oh, and you do have to enter the name of the church. Thank you. I had forgotten that. You don't have to upload a photo. You can't enter social justice. That's a secret. Can you give me a little wave if you're finished? Okay, looks like we're mostly there. No, we are not mostly there. Yeah, our church is the bottom of the Ohio's. These answers are being submitted to the UUA. They are going to compile the word cloud for us, and we will get it back in a couple of weeks. When we do, we're going to have a spiritual forum to discuss what our answers were and how we feel about them. You can have a sticker, yes. You know what? We're going to distribute candy in a minute. You can have candy for finishing the task. But you have to guess right to get the candy. All right, are we good? Mostly good? Okay, now please join us in our opening hymn, number 109, As We Come Marching, Marching.
A thousand workshops great, sharing of life's glories, bread and roses, bread and roses.
The mic is on.
That's for a challenge.
Okay, we are going to play a game now called Who Are We? And on the screen, you're going to see some acronyms, and you're going to help me understand what those stand for. Our religion is one of deeds, not creeds. And as you know, service is our prayer. Here in our congregation, we have our own social justice committee, social action Saturdays, a community garden, a recycling program, and other groups that do the work of our religion. You might not know that we also have access to larger Unitarian Universalist groups and resources that do the work of fostering community, social, and social class justice, racial equity, and much more. I'm going to read some names and acronyms of Unitarian Universalist organizations and programs that exist outside of our congregation. I want you to guess what those acronyms stand for or what those organizations do. Some you'll know, some you may not know. If you answer correctly, you will get a cookie.
It's not cookies, it's candy.
Piece of candy, even better. Kids, we want you to guess too that candy is for everyone. If you hear of a group that you would like to learn more about, we have takeaway sheets available in both small and large print that list the names of these organizations and their websites. Feel free to take them. They're on the welcome table in the lobby. Are you ready?
I need one volunteer to help me distribute napkins, Maddox. You had your hand up at some point.
Okay, we're going to start with an easy one. GA. General Assembly. Great.
Okay, raise your hand if you're going to answer so I'll know who said things.
I think it was Eva.
Eva, come on.
Yes, this is the annual meeting of Unitarians and Universalists across the U.S. and Canada. If you go to GA, you can attend classes and lectures, sing, eat, shop UU swag, and get together with old friends. It is a 10 out of 10 experience, and everyone should consider doing it. The next one is UUA. Right there. Yeah. Yes. This is the central organization for UUs in the U.S. When you go home today, check out UUA.org, and you are guaranteed to spend at least an hour going down rabbit holes. The UUA publishes books, the UU World magazine, provides RE curricula and support to congregations, leads social justice, and they even have a store. There is a ton of information on the UUA website. But remember, we send them money, they do not send us money. The next organization is Side with Love. I know you guys have heard of this. Does anybody know what Side with Love is?
Voting.
We had voting from over here.
Okay, that's close. It's the organizing strategy team of the UUA, organizing education and mobilization, and it equips UUs and our allies to combat exclusion and violence. How about the UUJO? Karen? Unitarian Universalist Justice Ohio. They work on behalf of marginalized groups in Ohio to offer education, advocacy, and action. This is kind of a tough one. YARN, Y-A-R-N. Okay, YARN is the Young Adult Revival Network connecting UUs ages 18 to 39. Might be worth looking into if you're in that age group. How about BLUU, blue? Susan? Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, committed to expanding the power and capacity of black UUs within Unitarian Universalism. And then we've got DRUM, D-R-U-U-M-M. Okay, that is Diverse and Revolutionary Unitarian Universalist Multicultural Ministries, a home for UUs of color. That was a mouthful. And how about CUPS, C-U-U-P-S? Oh. The Covenant of UU Pagans. That's all the information I have. You'll have to ask Paul for more information. ARE, Allies for Racial Equity, a place for white UUs to do the work of combating white supremacy. How about UUJEC? You were getting down into the really fine print here. Unitarian Universalists for a Just Economic Community. I think that's self-explanatory. UUMFE, Unitarian Universalist Ministry for Earth. UUAM, Unitarian Universalist Animal Ministry. UUADP, that's Unitarian Universalists for Alternatives to the Death Penalty. UUSCM, that's UUs for Community Ministries. And then we've got UUJME, which might be of interest to some people. That's UUs for Justice in the Middle East. And finally, UUSC, which I know somebody knows. Judy? The Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, which was formed during World War II and has done all kinds of good work all over the world. So, okay. Oh, I do have a couple more. UUSJ, UUs for Social Justice, that's our sort of our lobbying group in Washington, D.C. And then, last but not least, the Unitarian Universalist Hysterical Society. Has anybody heard of that? No. Okay, a couple people. That's just a group of people having fun. Probably making fun of the other groups with all these acronyms. So hopefully you had some information reinforced and learned something.
Come and put your head on my shoulder. If you walk alone, it'll feel so much longer. I know I can't promise tomorrow will be over, but I know together we can be so much stronger. 'Cause we gon' be alright, don't fall apart. We gon' be alright, don't lose your heart. We can make it through today. There's a light inside to guide us one step further from afraid. 'Cause we gon' be alright, alright. We gon' be alright. The headlines got us feeling uneasy. People so wrapped up in what their neighbors believe in. Everybody's talking about leaving. Well, I'm gonna stay right here and pledge my allegiance. 'Cause we gon' be alright, don't fall There's a light inside to guide us one step further from afraid. 'Cause we're gonna be alright, alright. We're gonna be alright, alright. Oh, my little sister, she needs me. She don't need no one saying what she can do, yes. My little brother, believe me, you can do anything to set your mind to. I don't have all the answers, but I've learned a thing or two. Ooh, I've learned a thing or two. 'Cause we gon' be alright, don't fall apart. We gon' be alright, don't lose your heart. We can make it through today. There's a light inside to guide us one step further from afraid. 'Cause we're gon' be alright, alright. We're gon' be alright, alright. We're gon' be alright. We're gon' be alright.
Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who you really are, so fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant, just for now. Let us observe one moment of silence.
This is a reading by Jill M. Schwendeman. Youth brings faith communities into the present, complementing adult worldviews that were forged in the past. They force a congregation to ask, what is the relevance of Unitarian Universalism for this generation? For me, in doing so, they add momentum for change. They propel the congregation toward the terrifying but honorable goal of reformata reformanda, true reform, constantly remaking itself. In its dedication to the ongoing quest for truth, the congregation is committed to shaking up its current practices and unspoken mores. Nothing is above re-examination. This critical eye is highly valued in Unitarian Universalist circles. However, when people have invested years of effort on behalf of certain values and organizational structures, turning a bright light on any weaknesses can be disturbing. Adults may find it difficult to set aside lifelong beliefs about how the world operates, or to welcome change to the familiar culture of the congregation. Ours is not a received faith, but one which is reclaimed and reinterpreted in every generation. Youth serve as a prophetic voice, reminding us to protect what matters and not get set in our own ways.
Meet the moment. This was the theme of our General Assembly this year. Meet the moment. The phrasing is very simple, but I found it strangely electrifying. It's an imperative. It encompasses all sorts of possibilities. There are no specific directives or prohibitions. Just do what it takes to meet the moment that we are in. That is the sacred calling that we are facing now. This is what I spent almost the entirety of General Assembly learning about. How can we show up in the world? How can we do church in a way that is deeply meaningful to people, all people? How do we conduct our regular services in a way that replenishes adults and others? We can see by virtue of our shrinking and aging congregations that our old practices don't work as well as they once did. We no longer have a culture in which the typical family prioritizes going to church. We no longer have a huge volunteer base. We don't have a lot of adults who are eager to serve on committees. There have been profound changes to how people want to be together and how we can be together. To respond to those changes, it's up to us to create a new generation of Unitarian Universalism. This is really hard church work. Change is always difficult. It always causes us some distress. We mourn the shedding of our mindsets, our habits, practices that are deeply meaningful to us and that we might still identify with, that we consider to be integral to who we are. But change is coming. It is always coming. We have no choice but to change with it. Keeping our flame alive is hard work, it is sacred work, and it requires imagination. Religious educators have already begun the work of meeting this moment. For a couple of years now, there have been meetings in what they call wave cohorts to dive deep into this revolutionary moment. They considered 3 grounding questions that we're going to talk about in just a minute. What is the moment that we're in? What are we looking at? What's looking at us? What are the most urgent needs of this moment? That can be both inside and outside the congregation. How do our Unitarian Universalist values call us to respond? How specifically are we going to center love in the moment that we're in? So the first question, what is the moment that we're in? What are the facts about our world that we as Unitarian Universalists are facing within and without our church building? This is not a rhetorical question. Bring those new elements of the world out into the sunshine, even the ones that might be painful or unpleasant, because if we can't name them, we can't change them. Let's talk about what we're looking at, what's happening right now. Fascism. Racism. Injustice. Slashes in healthcare. Classism. Sports on Sunday. Sports on Sunday for kids, yes. Yes. And parents.
Don't forget the effect of COVID.
I assure you, I shall never forget the effect of COVID. And I promise we'll delve into that. I heard something over here too. Heterosexism. The heteros are upsetteros. Militarism. ICE. Immigration. People who are enjoying hurting other people. Ageism. Resistance. Can you say more about that? Like-minded people that are resisting what's happening. Mother Earth degradation. Excellent. All of these things, yes, these are the facts we are facing in the world that we are living in. The second question is, what are the most urgent needs in this moment? We have a finite amount of resources. Which needs should we prioritize? And for today's purposes, I want us to focus on spiritual needs rather than easily quantifiable needs like votes and donations and funds and phone calls. I think it's helpful to consider specifically people who have come to our church for a visit and have not returned. These are people who were looking for something that they needed badly enough to come into a new church for the first time. What did they need? When you came to a Unitarian Universalist church for the first time, what were you looking for? Hospitality. Community. Connection, support.
I wanted to learn how to use a camera.
Krista wanted to improve her technical skills. This is definitely the place for that. Encouragement.
The right place for them.
Is that me? Do you want me to? Thank you. Yes, encouragement. If this is not the right church for them, some of them just aren't UUs, and that's fine. We can be a step toward them finding the right place for them. Acceptance. Multicultural connections. Peace. Like-minded people focused on justice. Religious education for children. We have touched on several of the things that were addressed in the WAVE cohorts. Kids need communities that practice deep and fierce love. Families need to be actively, sincerely, and deeply folded into a caring community. We need hands-on religious exploration, activity, movement, and play. Unitarian Universalists in particular, we tend to prioritize the needs of our brains over the needs of our bodies. And we sometimes prioritize the needs of our brains over the needs of our hearts. We need to get our hands in the dirt, or, as the kids say today, we need to touch grass. People need meaningful, long-term relationships with kids who are not their own. People need pastoral care to heal the broken bonds between us and our neighbors, between us and generations that we don't belong to. People want to be good ancestors and to shape the world that we're in. So the third question, after considering the most urgent needs, is How do our Unitarian Universalist values call us to respond to those needs? This is where we are called to use our sacred imagination, to somewhat alter our course, to deepen our faith. Our habits, the things that we have always done, are antithetical to faith development just by virtue of being our habits and the things that we have always done. When we are here, in our comfort zone, we do not grow, we do not learn, and if we spend too long there, we get complacent, which is bad for any institution and is especially bad for a religion. Unitarian Universalism goes high, wide, and deep. And there is a lot of space for us to explore. As is true for any kind of development, we need to work on and overcome obstacles if we are going to grow. So, time to imagine how we can meet this moment. We're going to talk about it today. It might take us more than 20 minutes to figure this out, but we will start the idea ball rolling. There are some other Unitarian Universalists who have gotten, other Unitarian Universalist churches who have gotten creative. There is a specific ministry that I learned about at GA that is called Chalk Talk, or also called Sidewalk Spirituality. After a recent devastating election, the Reverend Ashley Horan, who is a UU minister in Minneapolis, turned the pain into solidarity. Using sidewalk chalk, she and her congregants wrote messages on the sidewalk in front of their church building. Nadie es ilegal. You are loved beyond belief. Az salam alaikum, peace be unto you. This wasn't pablum. There was no love is all you need. There was no you can do it. The words were pointed. They were sharp. They sent an immediate message of love, inclusion, action, resistance, anger, welcome to their community. They expended virtually no money and virtually no effort, and they made the local news. And Chalk Talk caught on outside of their church grounds. The news interviewed them. They got to talk about their radical love, and then other people in the Twin Cities began writing their own messages on the sidewalks outside their own homes. We can do Chalk Talk. I haven't done it yet because I have qualms about taking 6 or 8 or 10 children right to Glendale Avenue to write messages. That is more children than I can grab. However, parents, you might feel free to take just 1 or 2 children up to Glendale Avenue to write messages. Adults, if you have good knees, you can absolutely do this. If you would like to accompany your kids to the sidewalk or walk to the sidewalk on your own, we have chalk outside on the welcome table waiting. I will be there. Please join me in writing some messages to our community. We can do this. It takes absolutely no time, and you are already here. Another UU church, and I did not write down which one, and I hope to get that information to you at some point. They were unexpectedly called into action by a local workers' strike. When those workers joined the picket line, the church stepped up and offered childcare to the affected families. They called it strike camp. These were not cerebral, academic, Unitarian Universalist endeavors, and they were not confined to Sunday morning. It was a fast response to an urgent need. It was nimble, bold, impactful, creative, and it met families in need where they were. This is what Meet the Moment has meant for me. I have mentioned before that I started going to a Unitarian Universalist church for the first time in adulthood because I had a baby and I thought my baby needed a good community. And I ended up with people like us. I was not really looking for anything in particular for myself. I would go to church, leave him in RE, I would sit through the sermon, then I'd pick up my son, we'd drink some lemonade and go home. I was here. And it was easy, and I liked that. Then after a couple of years, I was unexpectedly pressed into service as the chair of the religious education community, and of necessity, I also became a religious education teacher. I was no longer here. No, I had never worked with kids before. I did not know the kids in my church. I really didn't know the families that well. It was very awkward, and it was uncomfortable. But as it turned out, I was here. It was there with the kids that I became a Unitarian Universalist. It was no longer just for the benefit of my son. I won't get into the whole long story, but just know that really finding our religion that way fundamentally changed who I was as a person, changed who I was as a lawyer, as a mom, as a spouse. It absolutely changed the very core of my being. As the years passed, teaching religious education became my comfort zone. I would go pick a curriculum from the UUA website, I would adapt it to our children, and I would spend Sunday mornings just happy as a lark. Yay. Then the pandemic came, and church was shuttered, and we all stayed home. I missed my church kids so much more than I would have expected. Then my family moved up to Toledo. I became the religious educator here. Eventually, churches opened back up, classes resumed. I picked out the exact same curriculum I had been using previously when the pandemic hit, because I liked it and the kids really enjoyed it and I knew it. And as it turns out, it did not work at all for our kids. The kids were uninterested in it. They were unmoved by it. They were taking no spiritual lessons from it. It was stressful and chaotic. And I met with Reverend Tim and with Arun and with Sandra. And we tried this thing, and then we tried that thing, and then we shifted gears. I never got back to here. Over the past 3 years since I have been here, I have read books, listened to podcasts, watched educational videos about how to reach children in this moment. I've been on Facebook talking to other Unitarian Universalist religious educators, asking if they had any ideas about what we could do. When I wasn't posting questions to them, I was reading the questions that they had posted, thinking, oh, maybe the person who knows will answer them, and then I will find out. The answer is that no one has successfully resumed teaching religious education the same way they did before the pandemic. Literally, no one knows what is happening with religious education right now. The ministers don't know. The religious educators don't know. Sophia Bettencoe doesn't know. Long may she reign. We are all here now in fully uncharted territory. We are here. I cannot express to you in words how profoundly challenging these past few years have been for me, professionally, but also in terms of who I am as a Unitarian Universalist. It's like I've turned a kaleidoscope, and all of the pieces fell into a different configuration. And I looked and didn't understand why it wasn't the same picture that it had been previously. I had gotten complacent. And it took me a distressingly long time to understand how much the world had changed after the pandemic. This means that Unitarian Universalist religious educators are quickly, in an impromptu fashion, creating their own curricula. They are creating their own magic, and they are sharing it with each other. I am so far outside my comfort zone that it is hard to believe. The result is that the last couple of years have been ones of intense, profound, tectonic development for me as a Unitarian Universalist. I am not the person I was when I started going to church here. So we are now in a time of great upheaval, and we have almost limitless options before us of directions that we could take and ways that we could create religious education for the whole church. It is a tremendously exciting time. It is also a time for us to take things slowly. At GA, I was given a Nigerian proverb that says, not in English, The times are urgent, therefore we must slow down. Other churches have described it as moving at the speed of trust. Prioritizing efficiency and output over spiritual development is a vestige of white supremacy culture, and we are not going to do that. What we're doing has been referred to as whole church religious education. Right now, we have offerings that are striated by age group, and this is how we divide ourselves, and there's very little permeability between our groups. This is one of the old ways that might not be serving us so well anymore. Do not panic. Whole church religious education doesn't mean that we all have to be together all the time. What it means is that age doesn't always have to be a division that separates us. It also means that our standard church service doesn't have to be one that is geared always and solely toward adults who like to sit still and listen. That kind of service is great. It is certainly fine, and it doesn't have to be the only kind of service that we offer. What we're doing now is building new muscles and new connections. We're making sure that our actions are in service of our values. We don't need to change everything. We have plenty of things that are still working right now. What are the groups in our church, the programs that we have, that are currently energetic and hopping and really meaningful to people? For me, it's religious education. Anybody else? World dining, community. The community garden, yes. The music, oh. Jeffrey, did you pay Ellie to say that? The cameras, the most important. We don't need to change those things. And the changes we do make can be small. Chalk talk is not a radical thing. It is flexing one muscle, and that is good for us. We had a service today in which people talked and moved around. We flexed a second muscle. Good for us, we did it. The most important thing we have in this world is the love that we have for each other and the connections that we make in real life, in meat space. Everything else is the small stuff. Blessed be and always be a part of life, the universe, and everything. Amen.
So now we will have our offering by passing the basket, and let's reflect on the meaning of the offering. This is how we support the beloved community and continue the love we feel for each other. You can also donate by mail. You can donate over the internet. We have all kinds of ways that you can donate, as you can see on the screen. People on YouTube can also use these methods to donate. But remember, we generate every dollar we spend internally. No one sends us any money from the outside. So we've all got to reach down and be generous. For our offertory hymn, we are now going to sing number 1064, Blue Boat Home.
It is the coming soon part of our service where we tell you what is on the calendar for this week. We give you some announcements, and we also let you know what's happening right after the service. Next Sunday, join us for Spiritual Forum in Fellowship Hall at 9:45 a.m. when our commissioned lay minister David Strickler will do what commissioned lay ministers do, teach beginner ukulele. For the 11 a.m. service next Sunday, our own Phil Park Thomas will talk to us about pagans in the Promised Land. Immediately after the service, I will go out to the sidewalk for Chalk Talk. I will be writing messages of love and solidarity that hopefully will occur to me between now and then. You are welcome to grab some chalk and join me. If you want to wait until after you take a bio break, please do. The chalk will be on the welcome table waiting for you.
Our church has many activities and organizations, some of which might interest you. Everything from walking groups to book clubs to fiber art groups. Please check our website, uutoledo.org, or our email newsletter, UUFYI, accessible from the website for upcoming events. And immediately after the service, you are all cordially invited to join us in Fellowship Hall for fair trade coffee, fairly decent conversation, and general merriment.
Also, immediately after the service in Fellowship Hall, fresh produce, organic produce from our community garden is available on the recycling table. Please help yourself, and if possible, please leave a small donation for the church in return. And now, recognizing the Buddhist thread in our congregation, we will share a time of metta, having for and sending to all beings love, kindness, and compassion. We also have pagans among us, so we will follow that with the Wiccan Rede. Let us recite together. May we, and may all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful, be safe,
awaken to the light of our true nature, and be free.
And ye
Harm none, do what ye will.
Please join me in the words of our chalice extinguishing as Stasia does the work of our chalice extinguishing. Please read with me. We send the flame from our Unitarian Universalist chalice with the love on which we center everything to fire up the world and spread equity, generosity, independence, justice, pluralism, and transformation. Go in peace, holding, knowing, and centering love in your lives and sharing love in your actions. Merry meet, merry part, and blessed be.
This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let
Yeah, he does a great job. Thank you, sorry.
No, you're good. Thanks. It's a nice song, yes.
Yes, it is. I love that first song you did, that you played, that you sang to.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
were all right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's beautiful.
It's a great song.
That is a beautiful song. Where'd you find that?
Jenny, she found it.
Really?
I didn't know it existed, so she told me about it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, his whole album's good, actually.
Well, you have a lovely day.
You too.
Thank you. Watch your glasses on the table.